right, we've got another amazing guest here at the Clinton Global Initiatives event taking place in New York City as part of Climate Week NYC. And maybe if you could tell me who you are and where you're from.
Wonderful, thank you. My name is Carey Hamilton, and I work for ClimateView. I'm the Vice President of Policy and Government Relations. At ClimateView, we provide a climate planning tool for cities and governments across the globe to help them get to climate action faster. It's a SaaS platform that helps communities visualize and tell the story of their goals and dreams towards climate mitigation.
Okay, so if I was the mayor of a small city
Yes.
on planet we don't have time somewhere, and I
Yes.
thought maybe I want to go a bit green, so I would contact you. And is it like an automated computer program? Do we plug in data from my city and who lives there and how many people and I don't know what industries we have, or how does it work? Just a little bit more detail.
Yeah. So yes, we start with some localized data, emissions inventory data. Some cities already have that. If they don't, we help them gather that from the best available sources. And then it plugs into our agent-based model, which is the base of the platform, that really takes all of that complex information of the different parts of our local economy and breaks it down so that it clicks nicely into the model to be able to be visualized to the general public in a really understandable and beautifully visual way. So you, Mayor, come to me, and I help you get your data on the platform, and then you and your climate leaders on your team can determine where the biggest opportunities lie to reduce carbon emissions, and you can plug in where you want to make the biggest difference, when and how, moving forward. You can also look backwards over time to see your progress towards your goals, and it turns what currently today is very often a stagnant PDF document-based planning process, 5 to 8 years. And you can imagine the moment a PDF climate action plan is published, it's pretty quickly obsolete, right?
Yeah.
Because you're making new investments and new plans and new goals every day. And so this online platform can help you every day look at your challenges ahead and be real-time and on point.
Great, because also it's easier when people can visualize something rather than actually, as you say, having a boring old PDF document, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And to that point, it's not just about external stakeholders, and that's very important to make sure the community's engaged, all community groups and individuals who want to understand what's going on and be able to weigh in on the planning process, but also all of your internal stakeholders. So different agencies that often today are siloed work together on the platform to, again get to that smart plan quickly. And it's all about getting climate action more quickly, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yes. We need to peak global emissions in 2025 and near as halve them in 2030 to have a 50-50 chance
That's right.
of hitting net zero in 2050.
And
so,
cities create 70% of our global emissions. So the opportunity lies with cities to make a huge change, positive change for our planet.
What do you, in terms of a company, how do you see your future development? What are you trying to commit, in a sense, yourself to over time? Yeah.
So I have two answers to that. First, I'll start with something I haven't mentioned, and that is we are currently working with some cities, and soon we'll roll out to all of our clients the opportunity to show the investment potential of your plan. So determine the ROI, or the net present value of the different scenarios and investments you can make in your community to reduce emissions. So that's very exciting for policymakers to help make the case to make those investments. But then really why we're here today at the Clinton Global Initiative is to talk about our work moving forward in the Global South. We have worked primarily in Europe and North America today with an exciting project happening in Japan, but the opportunity to make big change and big impact really lies in the Global South today, where cities are, at fewer resources, right? So to help them jumpstart smart climate planning so that they can determine their future goals and objectives with a smart plan, a visually attractive plan that can be communicated to their communities.
I think that's excellent because, that definitely is a very, very strong help that you can provide those cities. I lived in Nairobi for 13 years because I worked for the UN Environment Program, which is headquartered there globally. And they struggle, but also they do have a lot of digital infrastructure in many developing country cities. So with something like ClimateView, they do have the digitalization to be able to utilize what you're offering. And I think that some people don't realize that. So it's really good to get on this pathway. Yeah. No,
Yeah, we
really.
do believe they'll be ready to really immediately operationalize the tool for their
Yeah.
communities,
Yeah,
for
super,
sure.
super. A lot of people are worried about climate change. There are some people who still don't worry about it because they think it's Martians or something that are doing it.
I hear there are a few people who still feel that way, yeah.
There are a few people who still believe in Martians, or that maybe they think Elvis Presley is still alive and well and working in a supermarket checkout in Arizona or something. But I think the world seems to be very much more understanding that there's something very potentially cataclysmic happening to our world and that we need to do something about it. But some people, I think, feel depressed about it, think we can't solve the climate crisis. Others, I think, see a great deal of creativity coming forward to actually scale up a response. Where do you sit in this?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So I actually wear two hats. I'm also a policymaker in another part of my life. And so I see very clearly the two sides of what you're talking about. But one of the most rewarding things of my professional world right now is to be able to work with cities globally on climate action. And I think there's so much good work happening. I feel very positive. And I also would say, we all know this, that this year, with the real impacts that we're seeing more clearly than ever before, sadly, of climate, weather events globally that are causing grave destruction and loss of life. That will also motivate more change, more understanding, more action more quickly.
Exactly. And all the evidence seems to be that actually, our global economies are going to be better off if we make a transition to a low carbon economy and all kinds of new jobs and things like that. So it should be really exciting. Shouldn't be.
I love that you mentioned that, and I want to share. I mean, our goal as a company is to get cities to climate action faster, but to do so by transitioning from high carbon to low carbon activities to keep a thriving economy moving forward, but a sustainable one.
Yeah. So at We Don't Have Time, we engage on a platform. Apart from our broadcast, we have a platform, about 75,000 different organizations and the UN and startup companies and blah, blah, blah. Generates about 75 million in social media engagement every month, which is really healthy. And part of that involves, you can decide, if you're a member of the platform, to give a company a climate warning, that you think they're not doing something right. And others can join in and agree, and if enough people agree, it triggers social media, and then if even more people agree, it triggers a direct message to the organization or individual. But on the flip side, we can also do climate love, right? Which is giving love to organizations or people, right, that you think are doing a pretty good job. Who would you give your climate love to on the WeDon'tHaveTime.org platform? Yeah.
Well, I would give it to all of the climate forward mayors and their teams, because as I mentioned earlier, 70% of climate emissions globally, carbon emissions, are coming from cities, and these folks are on it. They're working hard, and getting to work with them every day is a wonderful pleasure, and I want to empower them with more love. To continue to do that critical work, and at ClimateView to make sure they have the best tools to do that work quickly.
And is there a city so far in the developing world that you've started working with?
Oh, I can't talk about that just yet.
Okay, that's top secret. Okay.
But soon we will be having those conversations, and I'm excited.
Okay. And what about Joe Biden and his infrastructure?
It's wonderful.
Does he deserve a bit of love for that one?
Absolutely. I would love to give Joe Biden love for that. Yeah, we're really excited about the major investments finally coming to the United States.
Yeah, okay. Look, it's been really super to have a chat with you. And I wish you, best of luck with ClimateView. And I think it's really exciting that you're spreading your wings into the developing world, because that's where a lot of emissions are going to come into the future, or hopefully not a lot of emissions.
That's right.
ClimateView is going to change it.
That's right. That's
okay.
right.
Yeah. So best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Okay.